Our dating story is way better than people remember. I watched the first season and I can honestly say after checking the scores and talking to the streets, some of y'all got this anime all the way fucked up. But first, shout out to all the women that watched A Girl and Her Guard Dog in that video. Y'all really showed up for that one. Under the original name, you were experienced, I was not. Our dating story is a Japanese light novel series written by Makiko Nagaoka and illustrated by Magako. The series began publication under Fujimi Shobo's Fujimi Fantasia Bunko imprint in September 2020, and then a television anime series was adapted and produced by Ingi, with it premiering in October 2023 of this year. Coming from the same animation studio that created Full Dive RPG, Trapped in a Dating Sim, and the most popular franchise that they have, Uzaki-chan. But before we begin, make sure to like the video, because that definitely helps out. Now, what is this show about? Ryuuto is an average introverted geek who fantasizes about dating his high school crush. Shirakawa is the most cheerful, most beautiful, popular girl in the school. His friends make a bet with Ryuuto. The one with the lowest test scores gets to make the one with the highest test scores do anything the loser wants them to do, with them obviously winning. So they want Ryuuto to go ask out his high school crush. When he works up the courage to ask her out, Shirakawa, still not knowing who he was or his actual name in the class, as they're walking to her house, he remembers that there was like a weird rumor about Shirakawa, starting back in the first year, with her having many different boyfriends, but most don't last more than 2 months, with other boys joking that she goes at it like a rabbit. Shirakawa has a loose definition on the word like. She understands what some people might think about her, but makes it very clear that she isn't easy, and isn't the one doing the dumping, inside of her house, with her assuming that they're about to have sex. Ryuuto reminds her that they just met, and she still doesn't know what kind of person he is, or if they're gonna even work out, holding off on sex because he wants the relationship to mean something, and this thought blows Shirakawa's mind. She finds truth in his words, but admits that she's always looked at sex like a duty that the girlfriend must perform. Ryuuto expresses that he doesn't want Shirakawa to look at their relationship like a duty. The next 12 episodes is them working on their new dynamic, getting a feel for their personalities, getting a feel as to what this person likes to do. And something that I like is that they actually talked about whether or not the two of them are good fits for each other. They asked the question to themselves, privately, with their friends, and then towards each other, asking, do I improve this person's life? But yeah, let's talk about things that I actually liked about the show. The show is constantly feeding you information into what these characters' hobbies are. Ryuuto likes cars, FPS games, live streams, and likes being obsessed with something, going into detail about a particular topic, while Shirakawa likes shopping, sweets, smartphone games, and generally being outside with other people. So the characters actively try to make their partners happy by taking them to these places, like Ryuuto took her shopping for their first date instead of a movie, and for her birthday took her to different boba shops, and making a detailed map of shops she might want to go to, while Shirakawa took him to go play airsoft. I do like at one point that both of these teens thought they were about to get dumped, which is realistic. I also found the side characters to be just great additions to the story. Nicole is definitely the top side character, as she's the type of character I can actually respect. She reminds me of the black girl Junko from Nana, because as a best friend, she is trying to protect her girl. She's still gonna butt out of her actual love life, but still tell her on the side when she's fucking up. She can't be by her side all the time because she has her own things to do, but is still willing to put in the effort if it means her friend is happy. Like when she spent hours outside of a store just to get another phone case, trying to scare off Ryuuto, but then she comes around to him when she sees he's actually treating Shirakawa like a person. Not to mention she's not stuck up or has an attitude like Ryuuto's friends think she is, but she's actually open to making friends with them. She's a character that definitely deserved her happy ending by the end of the first season. Akari's a solid addition as a character. Like, she doesn't come online till like endgame, but it was solid. She's like the friend in the group chat who's on mute from time to time, but shows up when you need her to show up at an event. Her best moments in the show is when she gets asked out, but unlike Shirakawa, she flat out rejects the guy. And then we see Shirakawa's point of view where she thinks that her friend is taking dating too seriously, with her never going out on a date no matter who's the guy that asked her out. But I find this to be a very telling scene that shows that Akari and Shirakawa just have two completely takes on relationships, dating, love in general. To me, Akari might be a little bit extreme, but still is like most people when it comes to dating. She's not going to date you if it's the first time she's meeting you, nor is she going to date you if you just find her to be cute. I don't mind Ryuuto's friends for the most part giving their terrible advice, because that's to be expected from most high school boys, especially ones that have never been with a girl. I mentioned this earlier, but I do like when characters get really detailed about something they're passionate about, and then the other characters they're talking to completely check out of the conversation because they have nothing to add. It's like the person they're speaking to is speaking a completely different language. It'd be like that sometimes. But something I want to talk about that's pretty noticeable is Ryuuto's demonstrative mindset. See, Ryuuto is having a constant battle with his self-esteem, always looking at Shira and thinking she's out of his league, which isn't healthy but is relatable. Looking at her, talking to other boys, thinking that she's not satisfied with him, also assuming she's going to break up with him. Plus, it doesn't help that his friends are reinforcing this mindset in him, telling him he should just have sex with her right now because he'll never get this opportunity again. Not helpful. I do like how they make a point to mention the texting game. 100% this is something you're doing in high school romances. You'd be checking your messages in class, would be feeling insecure when he/she doesn't text you back. This isn't like a big point, but it still is good. He's willing to accept her past, not caring about anything before their relationship, which is very hard to do in some spaces. After the first day of revealing that he's now dating Shirakawa, he's expecting a crazy reaction at the school, something that's going to shatter his confidence, and is surprised when this doesn't happen. His seat buddy rejecting him is a 10 out of 10 Hood classic when I saw it, because I know for a fact that at least 2 out of 3 high school boys growing up have dealt with this. They had like a hot seat mate. They're talking to this person for like a good couple months, and it's just like, nah, we was cool, but like, I didn't like you like that. 100% Hood classic. Now, some things I did not like about the show. Ryuuto doesn't have any good quotable lines. Lines that make him stick out as a character and make me say, yeah, Ryuuto Kashima is the one that said this line. His lines where he compliments Shirakawa are just rehearsed to me. Like the lines I hear in most lovey-dovey romance animes, there's nothing special about them. And when you think about it, all of them sound very shallow because he's only talking about her appearance. He's not ever talking about anything past that. It also doesn't help that Ryuuto is repeating the same lines in this one scene 3 times in a row for full minutes, and I'm like, bro, say something else, literally. But something else I didn't like was Maria. Maria's plot line of hating Shirakawa is dumb. I think her scene could have worked the same way in the end. Could have just taken out her whole thing of hating Shirakawa. And I don't like it because of how fast her plot starts and then it just straight up ends with this. There's no real reason it should have even existed in the first place. But then it gets worse with her sudden development of this mental disorder, with her dressing up as her sister Shirakawa, trying to sleep with Ryuuto, the guy she already rejected at one point in the story, but now wants to bang because he's with her sister. And I know the reason why she said she actually wanted to sleep with him was like, oh, he told you off when you're spreading bad rumors about your own sister. And that's like the first time someone gave you pushback. Justifying it is just so bad too. Maria was doing it because her sister, as soon as she walked in the door, didn't yell out, hey, that's my sister. Hey, everyone like her. She's my sister. You didn't get that big acknowledgement on the first day. You even justified it by saying that even if you got found out, Shirakawa being the nice sister would have still forgiven her. What type of shit is that? She's just a mess. Now let's talk about probably the second, if not the first biggest talking point of the show, Runa Shirakawa. And I've done the unthinkable and I've read all the negative reviews on the show, and I can say I agree with the subsurface complaints on the show, but consistently the people who are willing to write these negative reviews don't go into detail, or they basically exaggerate points. So let me just repeat out the consistent points I keep reading. Yes, Ryuuto is a doormat of a character, nothing special. Yes, him turning down the offer of sex doesn't make him a nice guy, but it does make him better than the guys that just were with her for sex in general. But no, he's not a freaking saint like some people like to try and paint him as, this virtuous saint. Like, can this guy just be in the middle, like he's okay? And yes, Runa's view of love equals sex is warped. The people that bring up her views on sex don't also point out that she now regrets that shit. She views it as a mistake. She can quickly like things, but she's also very loyal and will put your needs first. She'll be herself, but tone it down if it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, respecting your feelings until it becomes an issue. She's a caring girlfriend who's gonna give gifts for milestones and anniversaries. She realizes she might have a completely opposite personality, but is willing to stick it out because she likes the person. Even if she's jealous, she's going to talk to you about it before yelling in your face. She's willing to pay half on the date. She's not some oblivious character. She hears the bad rumors people are making about her, and she doesn't like them, but she doesn't let it show that it affects her. But in private, it's still going to show that she's a human. She's actively trying in her relationship, from getting to that person's hobby, making them foods, or just trying to be positive. Shirakawa realizes her mistakes quickly in their relationship, with her racing to be an adult, wanting to be like her parents who married right after high school. In the end, her parents ended up getting a divorce. She does embody a goldfish's mindset, where she doesn't think about stuff long term. Even when she does try to beat on herself for having this, Ryuuto points out the positives of that, being that she's trying to have the most fun she can possibly have in each moment of her life, with her adapting and moving on quickly. This shows that, hey, Ryuuto isn't special because he didn't have sex with her. He's special because he's the first guy to realize she was going about this the wrong way and try to help her. Even if they do break up, she's going to take a lesson from this, as you should. And after having Ryuuto, she wishes she could have had all of her first times with him, and shows that she does regret some of her choices. But yeah, like I said, make sure to like the video, and I'll see you in the next video.